That doesn't sound good. Uh-oh. Oh, sh**. All right, let's get this show on the road. So I have everything I need in the car packed already to replace the contactors. My toolkit, pieces of wood, tripod, voltmeter, hammer, and some dollies. So I think I'm ready to go. I may stop off at Home Depot to get 2 additional pieces of wood. Again, you'll see what those are for in a minute. I'm going to my buddy Billy's house. He has a lift, so it should make this a lot simpler, but we'll see. See, I'm not just a hipster. I use my roof racks, thank you very much. All right, boys and girls, today is the day. Today is the day I replaced the contactors in the Model S. Okay, shut up, that's enough. Here's some context. Now, a while back, Tesla was recalling the Model S's for something called the proactive contactor replacement. Now, a Tesla's contactors are small devices that allow high voltage in and out of the battery pack. Well, a few years back, they were prone to failure, leaving your car stranded at the side of the road. And since this is a car that Tesla won't service, I have to do this work myself. Tesla won't give me the service history of any car, so I had to assume it wasn't done and change the part out myself. I found a pair of the newer generation contactors for the Tesla on eBay. I bought them, and now here I am. I'm headed to my friend's Billy's house right now. We're gonna do it in his garage because he has a lift. It's a lot easier when you have a lift. Crawling under the car with jack stands at only about 6 inches of clearance in front of your face isn't as fun as it sounds. In my first clip, you saw that I put the pieces of wood on top of the roof racks of the car. The reason for that is because I need to deplete as much energy from this battery as possible, because when it comes to replacing the contactors, you have to get the battery charged down to a certain amount before you actually open up the rear cover and service the battery. I put the pieces of wood on top of the roof so that it could increase drag on the car and I could actually get less miles per charge. Right now I have the heat blasting. It's like 400 degrees in this car. It's ridiculous. Billy's a good friend of mine, but apparently by these text messages, he's also a hater. So I'll address that when I get there. We're going to jack the car up, and we're going to take the dollies that I brought with me as well. We're going to put the dollies in the ground and put the wood planks over that, and that's what the car is going to rest on while I'm separating the battery from the rest of the vehicle. The first thing I have to do is I have to separate the first responders loop. It actually opens the contactors so there's no electricity flowing through. Once the battery comes out, I have to take out the fuse because that's what's gonna help to not kill me. And I also just realized I forgot the contactors too. So I have to turn around again. This is gonna be a complete disaster of a day. I have to turn around and drive almost 40 miles back home because I forgot the most essential part to this entire operation.
Until coin purse then.
What coin purse?
I don't know. Whatever the hell is hanging off your thing there.
Where? Oh, that's a little thing.
Coin purse.
It's like a
Coin purse, dude.
yeah, basically a coin purse, yeah.
Hey, you want a snack or some water, dude?
Water's cool.
You want soda water, is that right? Or regular water?
The soda water, how about that? Dude, could you put, hey Billy.
Huh?
Could you squeeze a fresh lime in it too, please? All right, you ready to go? Yeah, send it.
Oh, look at that.
And now the fun starts. Cool. There's definitely some condensation, actually some water seepage underneath the floorboards. Yeah. Oh, look at that, it's already out. Music, please. Now at this point, I realized that I really f***ed up. That doesn't sound good. Uh-oh. Oh, sh**. All right, we're still here. 2 hours later, we ran into an issue with the battery pack not lining up properly, and now the car won't start. So, also, this liquid right here. That's all coolant. The car dumped almost its entire coolant reservoir into the ground. As you can see, I'm low on coolant, and also those connectors didn't match up. So the second we started it up, it just started spraying coolant everywhere because those connectors just weren't seated properly with the battery pack. More coolant at the side. It's all over the place. We're still working on it. Hopefully we should be done soon. But I've been here for a few hours already, so we have to start thinking about contingency plans. So he's gonna come back up and get a piece of wood so we could try to align those connectors at the back of the pack, and then we'll see if we can get ourselves out of here. All right.
I just pushed it. Oh, I bent it. Look at that. See that?
All right, so here's the update. When dropping the car, the high voltage terminals didn't connect to the battery properly, and it bent the terminals. The pack must have shifted when we lifted it off the car, and it bent the terminals at a 45-degree angle. It also broke the guide pin, which we later had to weld back together. And after all that, guess what? The car still didn't work. So I had to remove the battery pack all over again because the contactors that I were sold were faulty. I ended up putting back the old contactors and jerry-rigging the battery terminals and lowering the car again, only to find out that the car decided to completely deflate the front airbags and raise the rear end as high as possible so it couldn't even drive off of the lift. Now, after I packed all my tools up and left Billy's house around 1 o'clock in the morning,
this night can't get any worse.
I got a notice that the car's power would be reduced. The car overheated and shut down at the side of the highway because, like an idiot, I forgot to top off the coolant when I was at Billy's house. So I'm stuck at the side of the road crying, and then I was greeted by a nice officer telling me to please get that piece of off the road. So I took all my tools out of the toolbox, put it on the roof of the Tesla, and used it as a device to catch rainwater. I had to wait about 30 to 40 minutes to gather enough rainwater to put in the coolant tank, which was then enough to get me to the nearest gas station, where I topped it off with spring water. Welp, unfortunately that spring water did not last very long as the car shut off for good 15 miles from home. Well, no more lifts for me. I'll fix this one in my garage on my jackstands. Stay tuned. See how your boy Rich gets out of this pickle.